Oh, yeah.
It sounded very crisp.
Let's see what's going on here.
I'm going to have to share this with you a little bit.
Kimberly, what's up? Kingston, what's up, man? Finally trying the Truly stuff.
What do you think of it compared to White Claw?
It I guess it tastes more like juice. No,
Adver-
it's definitely like a flavored sparkling water.
LOL. Advertising wise, I much prefer White Claw.
I think I prefer White Claw as well. This tastes sweeter.
Yeah, I believe that. Truly, I would.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? What's up, David? What's up, Nick?
All right. You'll have to
For
forgive me.
White Claw.
I think I'm trying to get it all figured out, folks.
High noons are better.
High noon. Oh crap!
Haven't even
Every time I
heard of
try
that.
something new, someone's like,
There's something even newer.
"Right, what's up,
Hey, guys.
Zona Brofist from the Mississippi Gulf Coast?"
Oh, all artificial loneliness. Hey guys, me and the wife can't wait for tonight's show. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. That makes my day. That's awesome. We're
Yeah.
excited about it too. Me and the
I'm
wife
really
can't
excited
wait for
about it.
tonight. We thought about waiting because we're late as usual.
As usual.
And so we thought about pushing it off till tomorrow, but it's like, nah, we have fun even if nobody shows up. It'll be fun.
It'd be fun. All right.
Speaking of Brofist, what's up, Hindsight?
What's up?
It's me, Hindsight. I love
We've
it.
got new stuff going on. All right, we've got tons to get into.
Yeah, okay, so spooky shits. Wish we had creepy music.
I do too.
This darn algorithms. But, alright, so tonight's spooky shits, we're just gonna be slow and relaxed and kind of take it.
More of a hangout.
Yeah, some of these are gonna be repetitive. I don't mean for that to happen, but like some of the videos that we'll see in the articles and stuff, they say it better than I can. They're more articulate. And so if that happens, excuse me, there's something in it. Also, there's different theologies here. So if I'm saying something that you don't agree with, that's fine. Just take it in stride. Hear the story in it, and stick around and let us know what you think. But having said that, all that to say, tonight's episode is largely based on giants, which I'm excited about. We actually got a suggestion for Catalina Island in the last Spooky Shit show. And admittedly, I had, Catalina Island is our screensaver. I had never heard anything about it other than it just being like this island that tourists go to in California.
Hello from Missouri. What's up?
It is a mecca center for just all kinds of, anything from energy vortex to UFO sightings to hauntings, like actual hauntings, to old school folklore, Native American
It's got it
tribes
all.
that were there. It's got everything. You want it? Psh, it's got it. No Bigfoot sightings. So,
Really?
yeah, but you can't have everything, or that's just too much. That's scary. Can't go there. Anyway,
Can't go
so
there.
right. All right. So now I'm like, well, should we start with Catalina Island or should we start with giants?
Well, they're they're tied in together.
They sure are. So I guess let's start with Catalina. No, yeah, let's start with Catalina Island, and we'll kind of slide into it from there. So Catalina Island is off of the coast of Southern California, and we can actually we'll wait for this one.
Oh,
Um,
well, where do you want me?
that's fine. Just there's fine. So Catalina Island, off of the southern coast of California, it has been. I mean, there's just been all kinds of things there. Movies have been shot there. There are free roaming bison there to this day. They were brought there for a movie, and they ran out of films. And this was like back in the early 1900s. They ran out of money for this movie, and like something like 11 or maybe 14 bison got left on this island, and nature took its course, and now there's something they're like there's just they're healthy. It's a healthy herd. And people just get along with them like they're not there, and I'm used to that because where I grew up we have buffalo too, but it would be I wouldn't have expected that in California. But anyway, so movies have been shot there. Even if you've ever seen Miracle on 34th Street, the old one, Natalie Wood, who was the little girl in Miracle on 34th Street, she died actually right there on Catalina Island. She drowned under very mysterious circumstances, and actually Christopher Walken was in on that. Like, he was part of that whole thing. It was her husband, and Christopher Walken, and they were all on a boat together. And she was afraid of dark water, but somehow in the middle of the night she got up after they all had an argument and fell into the water, and she drowned. And anyway, there's way more details to it than that, but that's just one of the just mysterious things.
Hey, Christopher Walken.
Hey, yeah. That's just one of the mysterious like things that have happened um, on or around Catalina Island. But the bulk of it that I guess we're kind of focusing on tonight is a character called named Ralph Glidden in the 1920s, in a very unorthodox manner, unearthed over 800 Native American burial grounds or burials, with over something over like 4,000 actual skeletons in total. But he was not an archaeologist. He was not of the tribe. He was just unearthing them. He even collected some of the bones and had this kind of like shrine museum like thing in a tent. And this is not one of his, but this is just a for yeah, for example. And so anyway, he apparently, while excavating, found giants, found the remains of giants, and he claimed that there were two different groups on this island. That one, there was the tribe that was there that were just normal human and Native Americans, and then there was this other group of pale tribesmen that were giants, and they were said to have lived 300 years. Their native peoples there were considered to be sorcerers and shaman, who could talk to the sea. And so when we tie that in to the thought that, or belief, that when you think about biblically, fallen angels, all right, fallen angels were said to have come on to, into the daughters of man and created Nephilim, which were giants, and they were men of renown. And it's mentioned all throughout the Bible. I know you got into this a lot a couple years back. And here we go. Are the Titans and gods in Greek mythology the same as the Nephilim in the Bible? If you scroll down there, and I don't have to read the whole thing, I guess, but just sons of God, angels that abandoned heaven to live amongst mankind on earth before the flood, which is mentioned in Genesis. Yeah, exactly. Which then ties into Greek mythology. Any folklore that you can think of, these fallen angels, they taught things. So such as signs of the earth, which I don't actually know what that would be. Well, signs of the earth. What would that be as far as a teaching?
Moon cycles, astrology, equinoxes, and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Resolving of enchantments.
Rock Bear, what's up, dude?
The making of knives, swords, shields, and how to devise ornaments and cosmetics. The art of cosmetics, use of weapons and killing blows, astrology, signs of the clouds, writing with ink and paper, secrets of wisdom, courses of the moon, which was once forbidden knowledge, and signs of the sun. And these were all like noted things. And you know, for a while, the Book of Enoch was included in the Bible, like widely accepted as part of it. And then they kind of just, it got shunned out. So when we think about it in terms of that, you know, ancient Egypt, you know, you've got deities that, so like Hercules essentially then would technically be a Nephilim.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And so, right, and I get it, not all of you are on board with this. That's fine, whatever. What I'm saying is put it into the aspect of tie that in with all the other accounts that we have around these things. As it turns out, on Catalina Island is, if you want to hold that up, it's a huge source for quartz. All right, quartz has in I don't know what you would call it, but like psychics and mediums, they all believe that quartz has value to it, in the sense of it's a powerful energy source. Some people believe that crystals are actually living and that they breathe once every century or so, and that crystals hold memories, and quartz is supposed to have like healing properties. And so if you think about it like an energy source, and then we hear about, you know, Catalina Island being this vortex, well, add to that this Native American tribe that was there in this one point on Catalina Island, that is now referred to as Two Harbors. It's the narrowest point, which it's less than a mile long. There was a temple there that was a ceremonial temple where ritual sacrifices were held. And so combine that with your energy quartz, you know, and you can imagine, I mean, like, I was actually shocked at how little haunted stories I found, but I know that there's a plethora that you're not seeing, and it's in a very unpopulated part of the island, aside from the fact that it's an island in and of itself. We could, Catalina Island, and it's the backdrop for Apple. We could watch a couple of the little videos and go in and talk some more. I feel like I'm talking too much.
Like what?
Yeah, let's watch this. So some of these, like I said, guys, it's just they say it in a way that is more articulate than me. It may be reminiscent, but just apply that to some of this other information that we're finding, and even more still to come. All right, go ahead.
Here you go.
Oh, no, it's okay. Can we just do it out loud?
I just can't see how loud it is.
Oh, okay, no worries. You do this, I can do the phone.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children, the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. The Maya and Incas of South America believed a race of giants existed on Earth before the Great Flood. So did many other ancient civilizations. Some took them for gods. Others left likenesses of them in stone or wrote about them in their histories. The Greeks and Romans told of blood falling from heaven and landing in the lap of the earth goddess Gaia, who gave birth to the Titans, a race of fearsome giants.
And then there we have into more folklore surrounding Titans being brought into the world. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Attack on Titan. We should have gotten some of the footage from it, but that, man, if you can stand anime, it's good, but it's creepy, especially before they dubbed it in English. Like, if you don't mind subtitles, it's totally worth it. But creepy, all right? Like, they're huge, and it's under a different premise. They're not, really regarded as Nephilim. In fact, they're kind of, it's a long story, but just size-wise and intent-wise, it's pretty intense. And look at these. Go ahead, we can continue. Look at that. And then, of course, they come in and say that these are all hoaxes and what have you. In fact, the Smithsonian, our beloved Smithsonian, was brought up, like, there was a lawsuit against them saying that they were withholding evidence of giants. And there are countless, it's okay, you can play it, there's no words. There are countless news articles, photos like this of people finding giant skeletal remains, and we just don't have any of them. They all either disappear under mysterious circumstances, or there's a fire, or the Smithsonian comes in and they're never heard from again. And I specifically looked for cases that were not giantism, which is, of course, a disorder of the pituitary gland. Wow. Okay, well, that's very big differences. This guy, he had giantism, which is a genetic disorder. So I didn't really take those into account. I was looking for people that were like, no, this is just how they are. Nothing's wrong. This is just how they are.
Why don't they want us to know our history?
Right. Look at that. Look at that bone. If I found that, I would have thought it was a T-Rex bone.
That dog stray, what's up?
And I mean, it is all over. Peru, Crete, Wisconsin, Utah. What's up, that dog? And so just very interesting, and not just giants. We can move on to a different one. And you can, just exit out. We don't need that one. Okay, go ahead and do. So, not just giants, also, of course, UFOs. What would Catalina Island be without UFOs? This is actual footage taken. And
you are seeing an unidentified flying object.
Well, I'll let him explain it.
It is not a hoax.
You don't actually see it. Yeah, there it is.
The film was taken by Leland Hansen while filming Catalina Island from a helicopter.
Do you see it?
Mr. Hansen was a professional photographer working for the United States
Not quite
Navy.
720, but you can still see something
This film
there.
has been examined by photographic experts. Photographic analysis reveals that this circular UFO was about 30 feet in diameter and was traveling between 130 and 170 miles per hour.
This reminds me of something that I saw today.
What was it? And what are the chances that someone would be there to get that footage back in the 60s? Whoa. That's fake.
Is it?
Get out of here with your fake. I'm talking about giants, sir. What? No, I'm sorry.
One more time.
fuck, yo? What the fuck?
Yeah, man. That could be like a chariot from heaven or something. We don't know.
No. Oh, okay. All right. I'll shut up. But I think that's fake.
Who thinks that looks fake?
One for fake. This is not Catalina
I don't think
Island.
this looks fake. Just
this is not Catalina Island.
more UFO stuff.
Yeah. Nah. Alright. So, we've got the UFO sighting from the 60s. Are you going to drop the link?
Yeah.
Okay. 1. Milkman says 1. Jeremy says 1. JF says 9. So says the Sloth says 1. Rock Bear says 1. It's not moving with the background. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay. So, haunted islands, that'll creep you out. Scroll down. We're going to go all the way down till we see Catalina.
Is
Whoa.
that bodies?
Whoa.
Sicily.
Oh, Sicily. I didn't read the others. I was tunnel visioned on Catalina. Bermuda, Bahama, Santa Catalina. Alright. There are said to be so many ghosts on this island, 20 miles off the coast of Los Angeles, that those who dabble in the supernatural claim it's an energy portal that draws spirits back here. Ghost Tours of Catalina details all the creepy occurrences on this island that's otherwise pretty much a paradise. The Art Deco style Catalina casino is reportedly haunted by a worker who died during its construction. He's been seen in the men's restroom, and an elderly woman in a white robe. She appears in the mezzanine level women's restroom. Blah, blah, blah. Western author Zane Grey's ghost has been, scroll down for me please, has been spotted walking the streets of Avalon, and the spirits of actress Natalie Wood, who drowned just offshore, is said to roam the beach in 2 harbors. Okay, I didn't need to say the Shutterstock part. Go ahead and scroll down. Keep going. Okay, nope, that was it for that one. And so that was just, and not only did Natalie Wood die there, she's reportedly haunting there. This is Ralph. So this picture right here is actually one of the skeletons that he found. Ralph was about 5'8", 5'9", and so they've done the math. This was supposed to be something like a 7-foot skeleton, which isn't necessarily concerning, one would say, but people did used to be a lot shorter, and then you take into account that, this is one of the smaller ones. During his excavating, he claimed to have found one particular burial ground that it was in a circular pattern, and it contained 64 children in this circular pattern. And in the center, there's actually another news article one, if you could.
Where?
A different link, sorry. Okay, just scroll through, yeah. Nope, just the tab, sorry. It's a news article. Keep going. Nope. That's okay. Sorry, there's...
Maybe I don't have it.
That's okay. Well, anyway, so he found this burial with 64 children, and in the center of it was an urn, all right, like a bowl, a deep bowl, and in this bowl was a girl, and of course, it was her remains, of course, and then underneath that burial was a giant who had and that was like right at the 2 points area. And not just Catalina Island, there's a whole group of islands in that area that's called the Channel Islands, and there have been giants, if you will, found on like nearly every one of these islands at one point or another. So anyway, legend told on these giants being able to talk to the sea. One of them was supposedly a fire god. And just, I don't know, it's just, I find it kind of interesting. Just kind of find it kind of interesting, that there's all these different accounts of it. All right, I think there's another video you can get rid of that one.
This?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that I set up worked, so like I'm like complete. We're not even on Twitch, so I'm kind of reading.
And yeah, and so I also just actually today found out, when talking with Chad, Lynn and I were talking with Chad, that a lot of giants or Nephilim are supposed to have red hair. I didn't know that, but that is a commonality. Now I did know that they're often depicted with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes and 2 rows of teeth.
Truth Seeker 69.
And they have to eat humans.
Yes.
Caught
And this is God
image.
rules.
And actually,
I'll shut up
see
so
the
you can
video
listen,
here
but
from the Ferguson
You might be burning
riots,
each other out.
where they burned the town to the ground. Watch this here.
Out here, bro, out here.
Notice anything a little off here?
wow.
Look at this. These guys are all standing in the same location, okay? All within a few feet of each other. And you can see this guy here clearly is much taller. The top of his head's right here. You got all these guys, they're all about the same height. Every single one of them's about the same height. Except for this one guy who's about this tall. I'm thinking, if these guys are like 5'11", this guy's probably about 9 foot, I'm guessing, based on how it looks.
Wow.
And this was something that was recorded back in
Yeah, you watched
2014, so
Ferguson.
it's something that people completely missed. Look how big this guy is.
But there's a big guy that we see walking with the Patriots.
Pretty shocking, isn't it? Here's a still photo of him.
It's got 2 still shot.
Okay, here we go. And then there's this same lady here. She also was showing a picture of the same location from a different vantage point here. Let me see if I can find it.
Just hang in there, guys. Like, this guy, he's so good at explaining.
Right here we go. So here's the same vantage point. I mean the same location. You can see the same vehicle. This car's actually, I think, slightly back in the video footage. And you can see there's actually a pole too. See here, there's a pole right there. Okay, this is how you can tell they're actually close together. You can see here it appears as if they're close together, but you could ask yourself, is this an optical illusion somehow, right? But actually, you see where they're standing. They're standing on the same pavements.
Wish I knew what was going on.
And here's the car, and here's the pole. If you go over here,
It's okay.
you see the same pole and the same car. So they're all standing in this area on this pavement here. They're not. None of them are standing on the sidewalk. Like you could say to yourself, well, maybe those other guys are standing back here, and then that guy is standing on the sidewalk if his feet were on the sidewalk, but they're not. Okay, even if his feet were up here on the sidewalk, the fact is, he would still not look that much bigger. He'd not even remotely look that much bigger, but the fact is, his feet are not on that sidewalk. You can see, they're not on that sidewalk at all.
I don't see what they're talking
So,
about.
they're all in the same area.
He's like tall.
They're
He's
all
super tall
within this
compared to
here.
those guys.
Right in this area. So we know that this guy is far larger than these other guys. Now, I've seen guys that are extremely tall, but not like this. This guy, he's on a whole nother level. We're talking like tallest guy in the NBA or something, you know what I mean? I mean, not even that, because he looks really thick as well.
That is a
Because
big
usually the
dude.
guys that are extremely tall, they're super thin, and this guy is wearing a lot of armor.
Play the
Look
video.
how big this pack is on his leg.
I want to see.
I mean, goodness gracious, how much weight is he carrying around? Look at his helmet. It's like 2 or 3 times bigger than these guys. So we're not talking about just some dude that's just really tall. He wouldn't be carrying around this much armor. He just looks proportionally like as if he's just a man that's been enlarged, not as if someone who just has some sort of weird growth to 9 foot, you know. And we don't even, and that's another thing.
He
I don't
ate
think you
all
have
his
anybody
vegetables.
in NBA that's even this tall, based on how this guy looks here. So obviously he looks like he could be a super soldier, and actually there's a number of videos like this now. This is just one. This
I
was
should
from
have done more from Goggles.
2014.
He does a really
We're talking
good
about the
explanation.
Ferguson riots. Maybe this is a way to sort of subconsciously condition people to notice them and not notice them at the same time. That your subconscious mind notices them so that you're not so startled when you do see them in the future. And there are others, of course, that people have found. This is a picture from North Korea. You can see guys are about this tall here. And this guy is the same as with the other guy. It's about 3 foot taller than everyone else. Here he is. Here's the top of his head. It's a really grainy picture because it comes from a very distant camera. But you can see how he sticks out. I mean, his head's way up here, and these guys are way down here. And everybody else is about the same height except for this one guy. And that's from North Korea. Of course, then there's the story of the giant of Kandahar, Afghanistan, which some of our military had infiltrated his cave. I'm going to show some footage of that here. Apparently a really big dude, and took out a number of the soldiers before they finally took him down.
You were in Afghanistan in 2002, and you were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
there's no
Well,
villages
just
around
nothing
for miles.
Right.
Did y'all
So
hear
you're
about
remote.
this?
Yeah, very remote. So we flew in to about
I
4
vaguely
clicks
remember.
kilometers. We're hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, you know, one of their rally points. And before we left, there was all kinds of what happened with an ambush. That was even odd because at the point of the ambush, he was called for maybe close air support, something, okay? There was no calls made, just off the bridge. So we're coming down a mountainside, and there was a nice path, goat path. As we bent around this corner, you could see this opening of the cave. There's a cave as we're coming around. And then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity, and then bone matter. When I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly, we're thinking ambush, maybe animal, you know, it could be anything. And there was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop-off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard.
Everybody.
Everybody.
And he comes out. It was a man at least 12 to 15 feet in height. This is a monster. Red beard, then his hair was long past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs at him and starts shooting, which broke all of us into the reality. Because it was
So
surreal.
now your training is kicking in.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
muscle memory, complete muscle memory. While Dan is moving at him, another bro of mine's laying down fire, and I start firing. He skewers Dave. He's now got him on this pike. It went through him. He's still got him, and he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. And our weapons components were M4, we had 308s, and we had Barrett 50s. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds. And he's taking multiple hits, and it's still moving.
He talked about this giant being 1,100 pounds, anywhere from 10 to 15 feet long, and it was killed. It was apparently shot somewhere in a cave in Afghanistan, but before it was shot, it lunged at several of our troops, our soldiers. It may have even gorged somebody. It was just a bizarre story, and it just sounds like the Nephilim from the Bible, doesn't it?
That's why we're so fascinated by this.
And you have to assume that the giant is not alone, that the giant is not the only being living on this planet. There's got to be a whole school of them somewhere. Maybe he's got a female mate. Maybe he's got children. Who knows? Unfortunate that he had to attack our soldiers rather than be somewhat peaceful, but I guess that comes with the territory.
Dan was dead. Okay. And why is a good man?
Then be somewhat peaceful, but I guess that comes with the territory.
Dan was dead. Okay. And why is a good man? Probably one of the best men I know, now dead. Before I'd left, they were already starting what they call a 9-line, which is a medevac request. They're sending out a medevac request, then all of a sudden it's not a medevac request. All of a sudden we had a helicopter show up because, like I told you, it was a large precipice and a sheer drop. So the helicopter just came up from the drop. They had dropped netting, which is like cargo netting. It's like squares. We were told we had to bundle him up. And we get another bigger helicopter, but it's almost like a Jolly Green Giant used to look back in the day that could get, through this area. Because the mountains, you gotta remember, Chinooks could only go in certain places because they had enough lift. Mm-hmm. And so we got him on there. The thing was too big. We couldn't move it. It smelled worse than a skunk. A corpse that's been around for a while.
Really foul.
Oh, it was like a combination because of the, how do you put that, the persistence of a skunk smell. But once the helicopter came in, dropped its little hook, and off he goes. The communication was sent out that we had a very large possible human creature.
There you are in the hills of Afghanistan. How many troop members are you with?
We had 6 on my crew. And when we say hills of Afghanistan, for us, we did not fly into the wilderness. We actually flew into a base. I guess this thing was transloaded out of the mountains by a CH-47. What I could see that it did have the 6 fingers. I remember taking my foot up and placing it up next to its foot, and it was extremely large. We estimated at about 12 feet, give or take. What I can tell you is the weight of the thing. Basically, it was approximately 1,500 pounds when it was getting on the aircraft. Now, if you take away the pallet weight and all the rigging that we had to hold this thing down, we figured it was around 1,100 pounds.
Goodness gracious. I'd heard about that, but I didn't really pay it any mind.
Wait, okay, so this is an article that goes into this a little bit, but I wanted to show this. This is where, because I saw people talking about like CGI and stuff. What do you think about this? CGI?
Okay, we we gotta look for...
Is this fake?
Some people are saying yes, but there's... Look, wait until the end. There's like... I don't know. Celebration in the streets. Where's this picture? I need this picture to collaborate. Cooperate. Baby. Wow. Look at those neck muscles. That dude's neck looks like a volcano.
Whoa. That's fake, right?
Shadow Wolf, wow. Yeah, wait, no, watch. Like, does that match up? I don't know. That one seems kind of fake.
Yeah, that seems fake.
Like, she is not reacting whatsoever to a giant man. I think that part is fake, but is him walking fake? I don't know. Yeah, he wasn't that big. Those measurements don't add up, sir.
This is an authentic and real old footage.
This is authentic and real, okay? Nothing to question here. It is all real.
Is his actual size. He has a stature of at least 4 meters high, which is minimum 13 feet. Thus, he is genuinely taller and more massive than each and every other.
I know stinky shoes, but that's the problem, is that like the Smithsonian has even been brought up on charges of trying to hide evidence of giants. So if
someone mentioned Attack on Titan,
if there is a reason to withhold that information deemed worthy, then then there wouldn't be any evidence. This is get this out of here. Be gone, I say. Okay, let's look through and see some of the other like tabs that we have. Attack on Titan, yep. Okay, and then here's where the spooky aspect of it ties in, alright? So if you think about fallen angels, they were treated like gods on earth, alright? Because they were teaching humans. They were teaching us how to like there are structures that just defy all physics, and there's like magnetic theories of how these structures came to be with these stones. Anyway, so if you put into, as they were teaching us things like this, how to build things like pyramids and what have you, and so if you put that into correlation that, okay, if you think about that, those are the fallen angels, right? And then that would make the children.
I think the point of hiding evidence of giants would be to further the evolution religion, because that's what it is. It requires faith to believe in millions and billions of years. And then not only does it further evolution, because it's really hard to explain giants, but what it also does is it creates a complete, like when people find out about giants, then it's like, oh wait, if that's real at all, then there is a lot more in the Bible that's true than I thought.
That's exactly.
And that means that means that there's a boss, and that he created everything, and I need to figure out what he wants from me.
Because that's exactly the point I was going to make, is that, so if we think about it like that, that would mean that the children of these giant of these fallen angel and daughters of man would be these giants, right? And those were men of renown. So then we've got Hercules, you've got minotaurs, you've got where does the line draw? If cyclopses are real and giants are real, and the I don't know, just what are vampires and werewolves, and it opens it's a gateway. They're a gateway mythological creature, like, because it opens up the world to, like, okay, well, if this is real, then what else is real? And I'm not telling you that they are real. I'm just saying that there's a whole lot of evidence, and yet none of it stuck around. It all just poof.
Yeah.
Poof. All right, so let's tab through some of these other ones.
Tab.
Goliath, exactly. And then we've got, like, Og, king of Bashan, Imen, Horim, Zamzumam. I'm saying that name wrong, but anyway, like, there are like 4 different types of giants just in Deuteronomy.
Where did you want me to go?
That's fine. That's another UFO photograph that was taken in 1979, was it? It said there. It was a bad, obviously not a great picture.
Oh, so it's supposed to be like an orb.
Yeah, that is like a flying disc. They said if you go back, the story of it was... Okay, so... Avalon, Catalina Island. 3 Army Air Force veterans reported 6 flying discs over Catalina Island, and former aerial photographer Bob Jung said he succeeded in photographing one of the objects. Photo is that which Jung says he took of one of the discs which passed over the island. Masts and stacks of steamer are seen at the bottom. So this was 1947. So just more UFO. There have been unidentified, like, things in the water as well. Yeah, this is just crystals, quartz. Yeah, okay, so if you look at that, the Olympians, that was just more back into it. Think about all of the stories of mythology that you've heard.
Yeah, but if they can introduce mythology, then they can introduce the word myth, and they can start to make it separate and fade it right out of your mind, and just like it's a fairy tale, like Jack and the Beanstalk, which happened to be a story about a giant.
Right.
Or what about Paul
Right.
Bunyan and Babe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's like a story about a giant here.
Yep.
You know what I'm? But that's not. That doesn't mean that Paul Bunyan was real. I don't know what's real anymore, but a lot of freaky stuff out there if you get to looking.
In Peru, you've got all those elongated skulls and giants found. Crete, Cyprus. So just, I don't know. I found it interesting. What I really find interesting is stories of old like this, that no matter where you go and what time you go, there's stories about them. There's cave drawings. There's whatever, that, these civilizations had nothing to do with each other, yet they have this commonality of stories, involving giants or Bigfoots or what have you. And I find that very interesting. Very interesting. What's up, Kim? Spooky topic tonight was just giants. And that article that we were just on was actually the best explanation in my opinion. But to each their own as well. So I just thought that was interesting. Catalina Island, I guess, was really the focal point, but giants were the main thing that I found on Catalina Island, and along with a plethora of other, factors. And so anyway, last week during Spooky Shit. So if you've got a recommendation of something spooky, abnormal, interesting, comment down below. Hit like, subscribe, please. We would love to keep doing this. If you guys like it, I enjoy doing it. And then we will, and I should have grabbed their name. We'll do shout outs from here on out, where if somebody, mentions the topic and that's what we choose, we can put their name or shout out or something.
We'll take a picture of it and put it on the screen.
But yeah, so tonight's wasn't so much spooky, more of just like a
hangout,
really?
chill,
Yeah,
hang out,
like,
talk about something other than the election or voter fraud or COVID or, Civil War.
personally really like the spooky ones, but I like interesting too. And sometimes you don't want to be scared.
Anywho, it's been good hanging out with you guys. I will probably be playing 7 Days to Die in the Discord server. I will drop that link.
Yes, the Kandahar giant. Yeah. Dangleberry. Yep, Catalina Island is a giant burial ground, like the whole thing. I mean, over 4,000 skeletons unearthed.
Yeah.
And that's not even, I mean, that's not even all of them. That's just the ones he got.
Well,
it was refreshing. Aw, thank you, Jenna.
I'm glad you thought it was refreshing, and I had a great time hanging out.
Aw, Kim, you guys are so awesome. You should look up the hole to hell in Siberia. Well, that's intriguing. Linda, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much.
You
We had a
guys
good
rock.
time. Next time we'll do it earlier so it's not so late, too.
Yep.
Oh, and it's Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
Should we do another one since it's a holiday week? Should we do another one this week?
Yes.
Like earlier in the week?
We should.
All right, y'all comment
I know there's a
below.
lot of talk about Mothman.
No, that's not solid enough because he only comes around every now and then, and it's only like 3 sightings, and then poof, a bridge falls.
Very calculated.
Very calculated, and the lines are far and few between.
Yeah.
Interesting, yes, but it takes a lot of twisting to be able to make the lines connect.
Well, bro fist, sister fist, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I think that's all I got.
That's all I got. Thank you so much. Good night.
See you on the next one, guys.
It's gonna be huge.